Hello, Gemini. This is Carrie from Celestial Forecasts. Happy New Year, guys, and welcome to my channel. If you're new, welcome, and thank you for being here. And if you are a current subscriber, I appreciate you guys so much for your continued love and support into 2020. I hope that the new year has been kind to you so far, and let's take a look and see for this bonus reading what needs to come forward by way of any messages. And in the messages that are delivered here today, let's take a look and see what the potential is as far as your love life, as well as any other aspects of your life that need to come forward and be addressed here today. All right, guys, so it is general as always. It's not going to resonate with every Gemini out there, so please do take from this whatever makes sense for you and your situation, your life, your relationship, and release the rest. And if you are interested in a personal private reading, all of that info is down below in the description box. And just as a side note, I am currently booked all the way through January 15th. Okay, guys? So let's get started. Let's take a look and see what needs to come through here. I have a couple of card decks that I wanted to use for focus messages. And I also have a list of all of the card decks that I do use down in the description box, Gemini. So let's take a look and see what messages, what focus messages need to come through. And I really wanted to grab some messages from the Angels of Abundance deck to start the new year off right, to bring in the prosperity and abundance that you are so deserving of. Let's take a look and see what the angels feel you need to know at this time. So let's grab one message. Let's grab this one here. Ooh, look at that. Dreams of abundance. This particular message reads, as you sleep, God, your angels, and your higher self are giving you divinely guided ideas, answers, and solutions. Be sure to record your dreams in a journal because they contain valuable insights that will help you manifest your desires into reality. And abundance comes in many forms, Gemini. Certainly tapped into your finances, your career, your job, but it's tied into so many more things. Abundance can come in the form of good health, other dreams that you are wanting to manifest, other relationships, your family life, friends that are important to you, something and whatever it is that you are wanting to come to fruition this year. Tap into those dreams of abundance and you just might actually make it come true. Okay? So let's go ahead and add to this with some whispers of healing. Whatever area of your life needs healing at the time that you're listening to this reading, Gemini, let's take a look and see what needs to come forward here. And even though I'm recording this the first half of January 2020, my bonus readings are typically timeless. So even if you watch this months from now, and if it happens to resonate with you, take the messages as you need them to offer you clarity and guidance. All right, Gemini, let's grab this one here. Flow. Go with the flow. You know, sometimes we can stand in the way of our own progress. And I feel with that particular card coming forward, if you can just kind of allow life to happen and go with the flow of things and just kind of get out of your own way, it allows life to just unfold the way it is meant to. Okay? So take that for however way it is resonating with you at this time. All right, let me go to my go-to deck, Mystic Moon Oracles, to start this reading off, Gemini. And let's see what messages you would benefit from at this time for this bonus reading. Angels and spirit guides for Gemini, please. What messages need to be communicated here at this time? Please bring it forward for Gemini or cross watchers or anybody else who's been guided to tune in and watch this reading. And we start off with a soulmate connection. I do feel for some of you, you are either highly focused on this person for this reading or you're in separation from this individual. They are a part of what it is that you are dreaming about and are wanting to manifest, possibly a reconnection this year. And it's so fitting going to this next message of flow. You got to just allow life to go where it's meant to, especially in regard to this connection, because you both have your own free will. You can't will this person to come back to you. You can focus on that and you can meditate on that, but they have their own free will as well. If you guys are in separation, there's a reason for that. And sometimes, as this card translates for me anyway, that you just got to go with the flow of things and see where it ends up. And I'm picking up so far for you, Gemini, that this has some pretty positive energies coming forward from it. We do have that understanding card right next to that. So maybe there is this particular understanding between the two of you of how this connection is. Even if you are in separation, perhaps the last time you guys had spoken to each other, there was just this understanding, that mutual understanding that this is what needs to happen at this time. But there is a need for action. Somebody needs to take action here in order to either bring you guys back together, to open up lines of communication, to create healing here. We do have the mask energy that is being represented here, and it is followed by that separation card. So it is confirming here, Gemini, that you are in separation from a soulmate. And what may have brought you guys into separation may have had something to do with this mask, because this can be tied into deception. It could certainly be tied into dishonesty. Somebody who feels they needed to wear a mask to either hide what was going on in their life, especially from either you, Gemini, or this is something that you both were doing, just not being honest with each other. And it broke someone's heart. It may have broken your heart, could have broken their heart, or you guys are in this same space here. Summer season could have been when you guys met. It could also be indicative of a birth date for some of my Geminis. June 21st typically is the first day of summer in the States. And if you're resonating with that, could be tied into that certainly. And the summer card as well, yes, it ties into the season of summer, but for me, it also picks up off of the energy of the sun, which is a beautiful card in tarot because it is very successful. It is happy energy, very positive vibrations coming from that, and it's falling right below that soulmate card. So I feel when you think about this person, Gemini, even though you're not with them, it still uplifts you. There's still parts of that connection that make you happy. And there might even be times when you get really nostalgic about the connection. And if you guys had very special times together during the summer months, it could tie into that as well. We do have inner child being represented here. So either yourself, Gemini, or the person that you are focused on for this reading may have had possibly a difficult childhood or a traumatic experience growing up. And this is a part of the healing that needs to happen. And if it's falling right below understanding, so if there is some sort of understanding finally that this person is getting, it's like that light bulb moment. It's like they finally get it. Maybe they needed time in order to just realize where they were coming from as far as what they experienced when they were younger, where they are now as an adult, and that might have something to do with how they conduct themselves today in the connection with you, or vice versa. We do have balancing the scales here. That to me is very similar to the Justice card in tarot, typically Libra energy. So you're either dealing with a Libra at this time, Gemini, or you might certainly have Libra in your chart. But there is a need for honesty with that card, fairness and the truth. And I feel, since we do have the mask represented here, that ties into deceit and dishonesty. And so now we've got this balancing the scales card, which again is very similar to the Justice card in tarot. And it's the need for the truth. That's part of the action that needs to be taken, is for the truth to be told, to finally face the truth. This is something that you need to do, possibly Gemini, or the the other person that you're focused on might need to do this, and or you both need to do that. So there's some sort of soul contract that I'm feeling here between you and this individual. We're starting off with that soulmate card, confirming this soul contract that you share. But I feel somebody did something here to create an imbalance in the situation, which is why we've got that balancing the scales card, because there is an out of balance energy here between the two of you. You guys can actually fix this. I really don't feel that it's a done deal between the two of you, but you each have to take responsibility for your own actions that contributed to that separation. That separation card for me is very similar in energy to the Three of Swords. Threes in tarot is all about communication. And I feel here, if you guys are in separation, there's no communication or very little of it. There's also the desire to communicate, but unable to at this time. We do have the awakening card coming right after the balancing the scales. I do tie into divine masculine energy from this card usually, but of course it doesn't have to be, but I tend to interpret it in that manner. And if you happen to be dealing with a divine masculine who's been a little bit closed off to this connection, and or Gemini, you might be the divine masculine here. Perhaps you're finally waking up to what it is you are in separation from by way of this soulmate bond. Maybe at the time that you guys were together, you didn't quite see that. And this time apart is giving you the opportunity to really see things a lot clearer. And that ties in for me, that understanding card. It's bringing clarity into the situation. This refocus card comes right after that. So if you look at these two images here, it's two people that have turned their backs on a situation. One is finally waking up to what they've turned their back on. And then I've got someone here that is refocusing their life elsewhere, trying to move on. And I'm picking up here, it's not that they wanted to, but maybe they didn't have a choice but to move on. That's coming through for some of you. You know, and we have a male figure in one photo, we've got the female figure in the other. So I do feel that it may have been my divine feminine who walked away, that broke the divine feminine's heart. There was a situation here that had something to do with that mask. Deception. Someone wasn't telling the truth, pretending to be something that they weren't. Putting on that poker face. You know, it's possibly playing down how this person felt about you, Gemini, or this could be something that you did where you just didn't want them to know how truly strong you really felt in your heart, and maybe you held back at that time. And if you happen to be divine masculine, again, maybe you're finally waking up that, you know, this could be a lost opportunity if you don't take action. There are signs coming through here though, so pay attention to those signs that are trying to grab your attention at this time. We have the tribe card right after that. That's tied into family, that's tied into friends, people that are very close to you, people that mean a lot to you. Some of you guys may have even shared a family, or you had children or children from other relationships. But there is a pause here. So there's no movement due to that separation. More than likely, very little communication, but we now have the spring coming through. The spring brings growth. Springtime is in a few months from now, Gemini, so it might take that much time in order to see growth in this connection, especially if you guys are not talking or seeing each other, and there is this physical distance between the two of you. Whoever it was that walked away needed time to heal from whatever painful situation happened here. And here we are again with deception. So that's a second reference to that element of somebody being deceptive, dishonest, possibly being manipulative. And yes, of course, it could be tied into third-party situations. It could be tied into karmic partnerships, certainly. So somebody put a stop to this. More than likely, the divine feminine is what I'm feeling here. But give it a few months and see where this goes. I feel really that it's not a done deal between you and this person, Gemini, because this is our next card. We do have an offer that's coming, followed by family. So it could bring the family back together if you guys are a family dynamic that had to go your own separate ways as a result of that separation. But look at this. We have recognition of the type of bond that this is. Again, whoever it was that failed to recognize it before, I'm feeling divine masculine energy finally waking up to what type of connection this is. Maybe they tried to move on themselves, whoever the divine masculine is, but were unable to, because it's one of those types of connections where it's just going to always be a part of you. But somebody is working on themselves here. I feel it could certainly be my divine feminine trying very hard to move on, just find a way to create a different future for oneself, and just really working very hard at improving the quality of life here. Forgiveness coming forward as well. Somebody needs forgiveness. Somebody wants to apologize here for their actions. And I do feel that it is my divine masculine that needs to do that. I feel it is my divine feminine who walked away here. We have numbing energy. Somebody numbing their feelings, can't deal with the pain, the hurt, the separation. With that numbing card, I do tie into divine masculine energy again. Of course, it doesn't have to be. That's just my interpretation of it. But however way it fits your situation. Somebody drinking too much, substance abuse, just numbing themselves physically and emotionally so that they don't have to deal with the pain is what I'm feeling here. Part of what caused that separation is the destruction brought on by a tower moment. These cards are coming forward in this order for a reason for you, Gemini. Somebody's afraid. Someone's afraid to come forward, to reach out, to start talking again. Afraid that they might be rejected, possibly, if they were to try to reach out and offer an opportunity to start talking, or an opportunity to just start again, a second chance. Part of the reason why that is due to a karmic partnership. But we've got somebody here who just wants to be left alone, going into solitude mode. That's very similar to the Hermit in traditional tarot, which is Virgo. So Gemini, you might be dealing with a Virgo here. And here we are. Somebody wants the other person back. I'm feeling divine masculine wants the divine feminine back. Okay, that's what I'm getting here. So this is going to take some time. What I'm feeling here is you might hear from this person during the spring season, and or Gemini, it is you that will end up reaching out to this individual during that time frame. That's a potential here. So let's add some tarot to this. Let's see where else this is going to take us. Twin Flame Journey Tarot by Mystic Moon. Angels and spirit guides for Gemini. What else do we need to know at this time for Gemini, please? Please bring it forward at this time. What else do we need to know for this bonus reading for Gemini, please? What else do we need to know, Gemini? Oh, wow. Look at that. We have the Ten of Cups. Cups is water energy. Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces for some of you. This, as this card states, is contentment and joy. Part of this offer could certainly be to reconnect, start over, have a second chance so that you guys can build a future together, have a life together, build a family together, and be very content and happy in your life. That is a beautiful card, Gemini. We also have the Seven of Pentacles, which is earth energy. So you might be dealing with an earth sign, Virgo, Capricorn, Taurus. We already have Virgo coming through with that solitude card. That is for being the hermit in traditional tarot. This is all about reevaluation. Taking a look at where your life is at the moment, and if it needs a little bit of tweaking, if you need a change of plans, if there are things that are just not working out the way they're going, maybe you need to just be honest with yourself and see what it is that needs to be changed. It could also be the other person, whoever it is that you're focused on. If they happen to be an earth sign, maybe they are reevaluating their life as well, especially if it happens to be divine feminine, refocusing, reinventing themselves, working very hard on whatever area of their life needs attention. So while you guys are in separation, I do feel this person is just concentrating on their life, what it is that they need to do to possibly move on. We do have the Devil card coming through. There is some sort of obsession, some type of obsessive energy coming through from someone. Could be a Capricorn. So whoever has Capricorn in their chart, or you're dealing with a Capricorn here. But there is some sort of restrictive energy here, very stagnant in energy. Somebody who might be feeling trapped for some reason. Could be you, could be the other person. But it does represent a broken link between the two of you, which is why there is a separation that is being represented in this reading. You guys are not together at this time. And also, the Devil card is tied into addictions of some sort. And going back to this numbing card of somebody drinking too much, substance abuse, it might be tied into that. Somebody's dealing with that, I feel. In regard to love and romance, the Devil card does represent two people who are in separation. There are regrets here over the separation because the love is still there. And whoever this is, whoever is taking on that mindset, wants the other person back. And I feel it is the divine masculine who regrets their actions and really want the divine feminine to return. Here we are again with Hermit. So that's the second reference to that Hermit card. Very similar in energy to the Solitude card, as I mentioned. So there's soul searching that's going on here. It could be my divine feminine who is in that space, trying to go within, trying to figure things out, knowing that a decision needs to be made in the divine feminine's life, but, you know, just taking their time, being very cautious. Part of the Hermit, too, is that people from the past return. And however long you guys have been in separation, Gemini, this person wants to come back, and I feel you want them back. You guys might actually be on the same page as far as missing each other, still loving each other, still in pain over what happened between the two of you. I really feel here somebody wants to apologize for what they've done and offer a forgiveness here. Somebody needs to forgive, the other person needs to apologize. The Hermit also allows two people who are in separation to come back, bridging those estrangements here. Okay, we do have the Eight of Swords. That's your very own energy, Gemini. Eight of Swords is all about isolation and imprisonment. This could be you. This could be the person that you're focusing on. But we do have that Ace of Wands. Ace of Wands is a beautiful card. That is fire energy. That's Leo, Aries, Sagittarius for some of you. As you can see in this photo, it does say spark, because there is still that particular passionate spark that you still feel with this person, regardless of the distance, regardless of the separation. If they were with you at this very moment, that spark would still be there. You guys would still feel very drawn to each other. You guys are like two magnets that just want to come back together. But right now, maybe there's a barrier that's standing between the two of you. I feel that you really see this person, Gemini, as somebody that inspires you to do better in your own life. They could also be very creative in nature. So if they're very creative with their hands, if they have the type of job where they have to be creative at it, could be tied into someone like that. And this could be you as well, if you are the type that's very craftsy or just very creative in your own life. But I feel you both inspire each other in some way, shape, or form. You admire one another as people, is what I'm feeling here. We do have the Three of Pentacles, so we have more earth energy. This is all about teamwork, collaborating with one another. And if what you're both wanting is to manifest a reunion here, Gemini, then you need to work together. You got to get onto the same page with each other. The Three of Wands right after that. So we've got two threes right next to each other. Might be tied into third-party situations. We already have a karmic partner that's being represented in this reading. And as this card states, it's all about awaiting those results. It's all about preparation. So perhaps for some of you, you have taken action, but it's just not moving the way you're wanting, or it's just not moving as fast as you'd like, and you're just waiting for things to happen. And that's okay. You know, going back to this focus message, you got to go with the flow. Because it's a process that cannot be rushed. We have the Queen of Cups coming through as well. Somebody who's very intuitive and sensitive. More Cups energy, so Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. For my divine feminines, you might certainly be coming forward as this Queen of Cups. We have the Page of Wands right after that. So some sort of exciting news that's coming in for you, Gemini, that might be tied into the new year. Got fireworks represented there. So maybe over the new year, New Year's Eve, New Year's Day, you might have heard some good news tied into this connection or some other aspect of your life where perhaps you were waiting for some good news to come in. Could be tied into that. But we have the Eight of Wands here, which is a good card considering you guys are not together. More than likely, no communication. This is the communication that needs to happen between the two of you. This is bringing forward some sort of energy surge in order for you guys to be able to start talking once again. Wands, again, it's fire energy. So for some of you guys, you might be thinking of a Leo, an Aries, or a Sagittarius. We've got the Sun, followed by the Magician, followed by the Temperance. So we've got three major arcanas coming in, one right after the other, all amazing, beautiful cards that are coming through here. Success tied into that summer card that I was talking about earlier. Here's the sun. It was just a matter of time before the sun came out. Gemini, perhaps you've been waiting for that sun. Well, it's here. This is tied into a renewal, prosperity, abundance. For some of you guys, if you are thinking about furthering your education, learning something new, it could be tied into that if that's something that you're considering. Great time to start things that are new, considering it's a brand new year. So if you're wanting to learn something different from what you have possibly been doing by way of your vocation, it's a great time to get into that. It's also about unions, reunions, marriages. We have the Magician, those manifestation tools that is tied into your very own energy, Gemini. Being able to manifest all of these amazing things that want to come in for you. And the Magician is somebody who takes action. Okay, we've already got the action card being represented right there. Somebody who finally takes charge of this situation to create movement, to make this happen, to make that 10 of Cups happen. With the Magician, you can accomplish whatever it is that you want, Gemini. It's right next to the sun. I mean, two cards talking about very positive energies, success, joy, fulfillment, happiness. And the Magician right next to the Temperance card, which is Sagittarius energy. We have a reconciliation here, because this is talking about a rekindled romance. This is talking about a possible reconciliation. But part of the energy of the Temperance is that you have to have patience to see this all play itself out. It's going to take time. And as I mentioned, we do have that spring season bringing in the growth that is needed in this situation, Gemini. So hang tight, because things might start happening for you during the spring season, I feel. Okay, so let's add to this with some romance angels. Angels and spirit guides. Focusing on Gemini, please. What else do we need to know at this time? What else do we need to know at this time for Gemini? Please bring it forward for me. Chemistry. I feel you've already known this, because there is that strong magnetic attraction between the two of you. No doubt about it. That's why they want you back, and you want this individual to return to your life. This person could be your soulmate. They definitely feel the spark is still there. It's still there. And if you guys can just collaborate and work together, as the Three of Pentacles indicates, then you guys can actually work this out. Some of you coming forward with codependency, that already came forward. Addictions are affecting your romantic life. It's coming through here. That's a part of this Devil card that has already come forward. And I feel it is tied into this numbing energy as well, because I always feel like somebody's drinking too much here. Now, for some of you, this is coming through. Unrequited love, somebody who's had a change of heart, possibly feeling that there's just not enough attraction or chemistry to keep this relationship going. A reconciliation is not for everyone, I feel. That's not going to resonate with every person. And there are those of you who have had a change of heart and you just wanted to go in a different direction. And that's your prerogative. And that for some of you, especially my divine feminines, is your option to do so. To walk away from a relationship that is no longer offering you what it is that you're looking for. And if it's just not making you happy, then you got to move on. But look at this next card, a second reference, okay? So this is coming forward to confirm for those of you who are open to this reconciliation that you can reunite, you can recommit to this connection with your soulmate. It's telling you it is safe for you to love. You just got to open up your heart. Open up your heart and receive. Go with the flow. We do have let your friends help you. Ask for and accept support from others. And I always find it so interesting. If you look at this photo, it's a bride and she's getting ready for her wedding day. So some of you guys may have already been married to your soulmate and maybe you guys are in separation. This could also be tied into mutual friends that you share. And if you just need that shoulder to lean on, somebody to vent to, don't forget about those friends. But yeah, look, calling in your soulmate. That's a third reference to a soulmate bond here. Children, an additional clarification tied into this tribe card. And buried underneath all this is my family card right here. Okay, so these cards that are coming forward from the romance angels, it's really tying everything together. Your love life is being affected by children. So some of you guys already have kids together and or children from previous relationships. And this is coming forward as a blended family situation. Families in separation right now due to somebody who might have had a change of heart, refocusing elsewhere. But there are those of you who do want to reunite and come back together and work on the partnership once again. And then there are those of you who are in separation, possibly due to someone's addictions, codependent behavior. But we do have passion, okay? The passion is here, Gemini, between you and this individual. The love is still there. It's definitely still there. All right, so let's add to this and let's see what else we can pick up. Let's grab some Lover's Oracle for you, Gemini, and let's see what else needs to come through here. But you've got some pretty amazing cards. I mean, you have the Sun, the Magician, and the Temperance card right next to each other. 3 major Arcana cards with pretty positive energies. There is a need for patience here, but you can manifest some pretty amazing things in 2020. All right, let's see what else. Angels and spirit guides focusing on Gemini for this bonus reading, please. For Gemini, please. Okay, let's grab the bottom card. All right. Trust. Transformation occurs through acceptance. Once you accept the current situation, it will automatically transform. And whenever this card comes forward, it's telling us that there are trust issues here, which is why you guys went into separation. I mean, the mask is there. And then we ended up getting this deception card coming forward earlier. Okay. And when you're not so tied down to an outcome, even if it does result in reconciliation, it allows your energies and the universe to step in on your behalf and just make things happen for you. All right, the other message, beware of what you are projecting, for the qualities you admire in one another are qualities you both possess. Equally so, the qualities you don't like are also your own reflection. For me, this is very similar to those of you who identify with a twin flame bond, because that's somebody that mirrors you. So for those who are not resonating with the soulmate connection, you might certainly feel that you and your person that you are not with at this time could be your twin flame. All right, so let's add to this with some signs from Spirit Love Oracle. Let's see what else needs to come through here. Angels and spirit guides for Gemini, please. What else do we need to know at this time? What else do we need to know at this time for Gemini, please? Let's see what else. Wasp and jealousy. So someone's coming forward, being very jealous about something. Especially if someone has moved on, if they have had a change of heart. If somebody ended up walking away from a connection with you, Gemini, and perhaps you still follow this individual on social media, or you're still very much aware of what's going on in their life. If they have moved on to another connection, perhaps you're jealous, and or this could be you if you've moved on. And this person is just seeing your life go in a very, very different way, and you're happy and you're content, and that you found this 10 of Cups with somebody else. That's coming through for some of you. And they might be very jealous of what's going on in your life. That's a potential here. We also have the Web card, Cosmic Plan. And with that Web card, it always ties into me for somebody who's just being dishonest and very much tied into that deception energy. Weaving a web of lies is what this reminds me of. And we've already got, as I mentioned, that Mass card and the Deception card. You also have yellow. So some of you guys might have that as a favorite color. You might even have the sunflowers as a favorite flower. This card does read confidence, success, happiness, and optimism. So things are ultimately going to get better here. It's like, yeah, you had a tower moment, but I do feel that it's made you a lot stronger, that you've learned from it, and you've got a lot of wonderful energies that are coming through here in this reading, Gemini. And I do feel that with the building up your confidence, if that was affected by what happened here, that's what's going to bring you the success and happiness and joy and fulfillment that you are looking for. You've got feathers and protection here. I do feel that the angels are watching out for you. Your guardian angels certainly keeping an eye on you to make sure you're okay. Blessing you in whatever way you're needing. But I do feel moving forward, you will find happiness. However way this plays itself out. For those who are truly resonating with a reconnection, reconciliation, you and your soulmate can work this out despite the separation here. Because I felt that right from the very beginning, that this is not a done deal between the two of you. Okay, let's add some messages of love to this. This is the Messages of Love Oracle cards by All Things Intuitive. So focusing on your person, Gemini, if they could communicate with you, what is it that they would want to say to you? And also, these are words that you might want to express to this person. So we'll pull a few messages from this deck and take the ones that make sense for your situation. Let's take a look and see which messages come through here today. Angels and spirit guides for Gemini. What messages need to be communicated at this time for this bonus reading? For Gemini, please bring it forward. What needs to come through here? Somebody's dealing with their finances. Financial challenges are affecting this connection. So money matters has been affecting the dynamic here. That's been a struggle. For some of you, you're on different pages at this time, you and this person. don't share the same vision. I do feel that is why we've had this unrequited love card that did come through for some of you. That doesn't apply to everybody, because I do feel that there are those of you who want to collaborate and work together with the person that you are in separation from. You'll know if this is you, if you are just not on the same page as the person that you are thinking about. Look at this, guys. An additional reference to addictions. That is a pretty strong message coming through here in this reading. An addiction is affecting this relationship. It says it here. Addictions, codependency. I picked that up from that numbing card as well. And we also have the Devil card buried under here somewhere. Okay, it's all tied into addictions of some sort. However way this is playing itself out in your life. Either you are the person, Gemini, dealing with addictions, or it's the person that you are focused on for this reading. Play hard is the next message. Find time to laugh, goof off, and enjoy each other. And I do feel you will have that opportunity sometime this year, possibly again during the spring season. I do feel here that with this amazing chemistry that you share with this individual, Gemini, that you guys just have a lot of fun when you're together. We have integrity coming through. Does this situation align with your values and morals? You, of course, are the only person that can answer that. If it does not align with you, and if you guys are on different pages, if you have had a change of heart, perhaps you already know the answer to that. But if it does, some of you guys are willing to work through the challenges. Okay? We have children, once again. That's not an accident either. We've got quite a few references to family and children. Okay? Children are important to this partnership. Again, you guys either discussed having children, building a family together, or you already have children, especially those of you who have already started to build a family. You guys are not together right now, or you might have had children from other relationships, and this would have created a blended family. This is coming through for some of you. It was strictly sexual. Perhaps you already know that. This connection is passionate but not enduring. So even though the passion is here, that could have been part of the reason, especially why somebody chose to refocus, knowing that it just wasn't ultimately going to lead to the 10 of Cups. And here we are again with that apology. Somebody who really needs to apologize for what they've done. They just want forgiveness. It's being reiterated here. Wow. Okay. So there's quite a few synchronicities in this reading coming through for you, Gemini. All right. Let's close this out with some healing messages. Angels and spirit guides for Gemini, please. Some final thoughts. Healing messages for Gemini for this bonus reading, please. Okay, we've got one flying out, divine timing. We have playfulness, and we have healing. Okay, so this is already coming through. I believe that is tied into the Temperance card, letting you know that you have to have patience, because if it's ultimately going to work out between you and your soulmate and or your twin flame, Gemini, it's going to require time. And this is a situation that cannot be rushed. It's going to happen when it is meant to. Playful energy could certainly be tied into all the references for children in this reading, families. It's tied into that. And just a reminder to just have fun in your life. For those of you who really need healing at this time, it's coming through here, letting you know that the healing has begun. And if it hasn't started, you'll know that it's time. So whatever it is that needs healing, whether you have been dealing with physical ailments and or a broken heart that needs healing, it's time to allow that process to begin. So just go with the flow. Go with the flow, Gemini, and allow life to happen the way it is meant to. All right, guys, so that's where I'm going to leave this. Whatever side of the fence you fall on in regard to this reading, I do hope that it offered you some clarity. If you are interested in your own personal private reading, all of that information is down below in the description box, and I will be back real soon with more readings for you guys. Take care, Gemini. Bye-bye.